Good evening and welcome to the December 28th, 2022 meeting of the Brighton Town Board. I'm Bill Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor, and I'm pleased to welcome you here, whether you're with us in person or watching us remotely tonight. In just a couple minutes, we'll begin the open forum portion of our meeting. That's the opportunity for members of the public to share their comments with the town board. Now, if you are watching us on our YouTube live stream or on our cable access channel, you will have to log into the Zoom broadcast in order to access and participate in the open forum. There are detailed instructions for doing that on the Town of Brighton webpage if you're not familiar with Zoom. We do also continue to make our meetings accessible to the deaf and hard of hearing community. Tonight we have our ASL interpreters Jennifer Baratan and Sarah Brewer. Jennifer and Sarah, thank you very much. As a reminder, the agenda for tonight's meeting, as well as all of the supporting material that we'll be using in making our decisions, all of that's available on the Town of Brighton webpage at www.townofbrighton.org. We'll start our meeting tonight with the pledge. I'll ask Councilmember Wilt if you would lead us, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight marks the third night of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa was established in the 60s to recognize African and African American culture and history. Kwanzaa is a 7-night holiday that celebrates 7 individual principles. And in keeping with our celebration of diversity here in Brighton, tonight the town board members have signed a proclamation recognizing and celebrating Kwanzaa here in Brighton, which I will now read. Whereas, from December 26th through January 1, Kwanzaa celebrates African and African American culture and honors the ancestors. And whereas, families and communities come together to share a feast and light a new candle each day to signify one of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa: umoja, unity; kujichagulia, self-determination; ujima, collective work and responsibility, and that is what we're celebrating tonight on the third night; ujamaa, cooperative economics; nia, purpose; kuumba, creativity; and imani, faith. Whereas the Kinara holds 3 red, 1 black, and 3 green candles to underscore the struggle, the people, and the future, respectively, of Africans and African Americans, and to reflect the colors of the Pan-African flag. Whereas each day celebrants light a candle to highlight the principle reflecting that day and breathe meaning into it with various activities, such as reciting the sayings or writings of great African American thinkers and writers, original poetry, and sharing a meal of African diaspora-inspired foods. Whereas Kwanzaa reaffirms the importance of family and community, human dignity and understanding, African American history and heritage as a way to strengthen the self and the community so as to better the world. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Brighton Town Supervisor William W. Maley, and the members of our Town Council do hereby recognize and celebrate Kwanzaa this December 26th, 2022 through January 1st, 2023, and encourage all Brightonians to learn more about Kwanzaa and how the uniting concepts of the 7 principles can benefit Brighton, the nation, and the world. And the proclamation is signed this 28th day of December, 2022. We'll be displaying the proclamation out in the lobby after tonight's meeting for the rest of Kwanzaa. We now begin our open forum, which we hold at the start of every town board meeting. The open forum is an opportunity to address the board concerning any matter relating to the town, whether or not it's a matter relating to an item on our agenda. If you're here in person and would like to speak during the open forum, please raise your hand and we'll recognize you. If you're participating in the meeting remotely and you wish to speak during the open forum, you must first, as I mentioned a moment ago, join the meeting on Zoom. There are instructions for doing so on the town's webpage. If you'd like to speak from the Zoom platform, use the Zoom raised hand function. You'll be admitted from the Zoom waiting room by the host to speak. I ask all speakers, if you would please, whether you're speaking in person or remotely, to please state your name and address. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes, and I'll give you a 30-second warning before your 3-minute time expires. We may not be able to answer every question, particularly if your question relates to a matter that's not on our agenda this evening, but our goal here tonight and during the open forum at every town board meeting is to give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with the board and for us to be able to listen to your words. Therefore, please direct your remarks to the town board and not to the room or to other speakers. Please refrain from personal attacks and from outbursts of any kind during the open forum, out of respect for the speakers and for the time of everybody that's here tonight. So is there anybody here in the room that would like to speak during the open forum? I see no one, and it doesn't appear as though anyone has entered the Zoom and using the raise hand function to speak.
Bill, if there is no one, I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll on that motion.
Councilmember DePonzio?
Aye.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt?
Aye.
Supervisor Maley?
Aye. We have no public hearings tonight. Can I have a motion to receive and file the communications? Jason?
So moved.
Second.
Chief Cathaldi is not here tonight, but Jose Caraballo is with us. Officer Fuchs will be resigning from the force. I understand he's got some other things that he's going to be doing, but we'll miss his services. We appreciate his services, and we wish him well. We also have a report on our kenneling, on our animal control services, which have been rated satisfactorily. The one that I'm there's these next 3 I'm all excited about, but the third one I am particularly excited about. I received a communication from Paul Chatfield, who is the awards chair of the Genesee Valley branch of the American Public Works Association, and he has advised me that our own Mike Guyon, Public Works Commissioner, Highway Superintendent, Sewer Superintendent, man of many hats, is the richly deserving recipient of the Public Works Leader of the Year Award for 2022. That honor will be presented in person at a dinner that's being held in January. And I know I'm planning on going. We'll be reaching out to everybody to, hopefully, a lot of us are going to be able to be there at that dinner, get a table or two, and make sure you get the recognition, and make sure we all celebrate the recognition that you so richly earned. Just today, Mike, I won't get into it all, but you helped a resident. A resident had reached out with a concern that, really had potential to cause some serious problems for her neighborhood. You made a phone call, you talked to someone, you shared a photo, and the work got done today, not next month when the work was going to get done. And that was really an extraordinary response. Thank you for that, and congratulations on this recognition.
Thank you very much.
We also got a nice note from Doug Nordquist, an email in response to the latest issue of the Brighton newsletter, sending specific appreciations along to the police and to the highway department for the work that you do and for the material both departments provided in the town newsletter that's hitting houses this week. And also an email from Toby Silverman, who appreciates the phone numbers that are included in the newsletter. She had reached out to me about that. The phone numbers are in there, and it's very helpful. So we have a motion from Jason, seconded by Chris, to receive and file those communications. Any comments on any of those? Then Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember DeFazio?
Aye.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt?
Aye.
Supervisor Manley?
Aye. Committee reports. Robin, Community Services.
Thank you, Bill. The Community Services Committee met last Wednesday, December 21st. Among the items that we discussed were, under continuing business, park issues. Park staff is involved in completing routine seasonal maintenance and addressing any emergent issues with systems and trails. The Lehigh Valley Trail in particular has seen footbridges needing repeated attention from damage from downed trees, but staff remain vigilant in addressing the issues. We also had a discussion and follow-up to an inquiry regarding parking on Tower Drive near the Lehigh Valley Trail. Under items of recreation, our winter spring program startup is underway. Winter spring programming will be available for Brighton residents to register on January 3rd, and for non-residents, registration will begin on January 10th. The registration window opens at 9 a.m. December recess camp was very well subscribed this year with lots of off-site activities. We still do have a few openings for both Thursday and Friday, December 29th and 30th this week. The hours of operation are 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the cost is a reasonable $50 a day. The Recreation Department also hosted Family Winter Bingo Night on Friday, December 16th. It turned out to be an extremely well-attended and popular event that will be repeated in the future. The Rec Department will be looking forward to scheduling similar community activities to further engage families in regular recreation programs. We had Friends of the Brickyard Trail. Peggy Dempsey will help establish more 2023 programming for the Brickyard Trail that will incorporate an arts element and exhibit component. Our friends at 12 Corners Presbyterian Church will make a donation to support preschool programming, which will allow for a return of the preschool gym program on a weekly basis. And in order to provide a full assortment of vendors, the Winter Farmers Market will be postponed for operation until March 5th. Our senior programming within the department is going strong and has returned to pre-pandemic participation levels. In particular, the PLARN, or Plastic Yarn Project, where multi-purpose mats are knitted for underserved communities, has taken root in other communities and expanded its mission. They will be creating an instruction manual to describe the process and we discussed a potential feature in Brighton Connections magazine. Our community luncheons continue to be a popular means to engage the community in all of the culinary options that Brighton has to offer, with program entering the new year. And our edits are underway to finalize the community recreation study report, and we hope to release that study in the new year. An update to our Winter's Farmers Market. The project continues apace. Our Commissioner of Public Works, Mike Guyon, and staff will hold a pre-construction meeting with contractors after the first of the year. An update to our Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Advisory Board. The IDEA Board met on December 15th and is engaged in efforts to better support the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Department of the town in areas of celebration, programming, and incorporation of DEI in all areas. There are also plans to conduct a review of the capital improvement plan and budget, much in the same vein as the Sustainability Oversight Committee conducts such a review, to ensure that we're incorporating our DEI goals into our budgetary priorities. We had a discussion of our clean energy community priorities action plans, and there was a discussion of the Brighton Rotary, which has stepped up to support our pollinator garden work the town is doing as a part of an upgrade to the Monroe Avenue Green Infrastructure Grant Program project. And we're working with ESL to develop a first-time home buyer program with Brighton-specific needs. We also debriefed our council member on your corner season, and we will be targeting this summer, June, for a reintroduction of the program on a once per month basis. Thank you for all of the feedback that we received from the community. And finally, we discussed our 2023 Community Services Committee schedule, which will, for the new year, be meeting directly following our Finance and Administrative Services Committee meeting, which will be on Wednesdays at 8:30 a.m., and then Community Services will convene immediately prior at 9:30, or immediately afterwards at 9:30 a.m. Upcoming events is our DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency, National Pharmaceutical Take-Back event, which will occur at the Brighton Town Hall Public Safety Wing at 2300 Elmwood Avenue on Saturday, April 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then Brighton Clean Sweep will be at Brighton Town Hall, 2300 Elmwood Avenue on Saturday, May 13th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And our next semi-annual electronics recycling and secure document shredding event will be at the Brighton Highway Department parking lot, 1941 Elmwood Avenue, on Sunday, May 21st, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. The next meeting of the Community Services Committee will be on Wednesday, January 18th, 2023, at 9:30 a.m. at the Brookside Recreation Center Multipurpose Room. Please do access the building from the Winton Road exit. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robin. Jason, Finance.
Yes, the Finance and Administrative Services Committee met last Tuesday, December 20th. Each of the items that were discussed in committee appear on tonight's agenda. Items discussed included the review of the proposed changes to the real property tax law exemption limits for senior citizens and people with disabilities. And the Finance Committee did recommend the town board to take favorable action to extend the exemption limit up to $50,000 with a sliding scale up to the max of $58,400 in annual income. And that'll be discussed later on in the agenda. And in addition, alluding to what Robin's already mentioned, that we also discussed our 2023 meeting schedule. And instead of doing Tuesdays at 3:30, we will be meeting on the first and third Wednesday of each month at 8:30 in the morning. Our next meeting, in accordance with that new schedule, will be on Wednesday, January 4th at 8:30 in the morning. We will meet in the auditorium here at Town Hall, and the public is invited to attend.
Thanks very much, Jason. Chris, Public Safety.
The public safety meeting for December was reported on at our last town board meeting, Bill, and our next meeting will be January the 10th at 8 o'clock in the morning, and Public Works will follow right after that at approximately 9:15.
And I don't know if we have a Public Works report tonight.
So literally, Christine, I believe, reported on the last Public Works meeting at the December 14th meeting as well. Her next meeting, our next meeting of Public Works will be on January the 10th.
Great, thank you. Okay. Jason, reading and approval of claims.
Yes, earlier today, I reviewed claims totaling $633,689.37. Notable claims include to InX Architecture in the amount of $70,149.68, representing payment for consulting services for town hall improvements and/or potential renovations. Also to Keeler Construction in the amount of $131,400, representing payment for the Elmwood Avenue sidewalk improvements. Also to North Shore Chevrolet in the amount of $33,878, representing payment for the purchase of a 2023 Chevrolet Bolt EUV car to be used in the Public Works Department. Also to Scanex Pipe Services in the amount of $136,146, representing payment for ongoing sewer rehabilitation program for Astor Drive, Sandringham Road, Elmwood Avenue, and Trevor Court areas. And finally, to Spring Sheet Metal and Roofing in the amount of $34,186.05, representing final payment for the library roof project, which is now complete. The claims all appear to be in order, and I move that they be approved.
Second?
Any discussion? Certainly great to see that EV, our first two EVs that we purchased this year, and more to follow. All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember DeFazio?
Aye.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt?
Aye.
Supervisor Malley?
Aye. Chris?
Next item, Bill, is to authorize the supervisor to enter into an agreement with the Brighton Volunteer Ambulance to provide emergency medical services within the town of Brighton in an amount not to exceed $360,000 for the calendar year 2023. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
Any discussion on that? The financial terms are essentially the same as in last year, with the exception that given higher fuel costs, although they have now come down, but as this contract was being negotiated, the fuel costs were somewhat higher. So the holdback for fuel costs, and of course Brighton Volunteer Ambulance fuels at our fueling station down at 1941 Elmwood, has risen this year in the contract from $25,000 to $30,000. So we have a motion and a second on that agreement approval. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember DeFazio?
Aye.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt?
Aye.
Supervisor Malley?
Aye. Jason?
Yes, the next matter seeks to approve the 2023 schedule of the Finance and Administrative Services Committee. I move we adopt the resolution as prepared by the town attorney.
Second?
And we'll be approving various other schedules at our organizational meeting next week, but you have the schedule there. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember DeFazio?
Aye.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt?
Aye.
Supervisor Malley?
Aye. Robin, if you'd do the next one, please.
Certainly. The next matter seeks to set a public hearing for January 25th, 2023 for the proposed removal and replacement of a 54-inch silver maple at 342 Meadow Drive. I move that we adopt the resolution as prepared by the town attorney.
Second.
Another silver maple, but we have the report and all the supporting information there, and of course, we'll enter that all into the record on January 25th when we have the public hearing. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember DePonzio,
Aye.
Councilmember Werner,
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt,
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy.
Aye. And Jason, the last item on new business.
Yes, the next matter seeks to set a public hearing for a local law increasing income qualification limits for the limited income disabled persons and limited income senior property tax exemptions. I move we adopt the resolution as prepared by the town attorney.
Second.
As Jason mentioned in his report, this is a matter that was discussed during the Finance Committee, and our town assessor, Pam Post, was there with us. These are two of the state tax exemptions, and for them to become effective for next year, these are for the 2023 tax cycle, starting with the school tax cycle, but really in our case, it'll be the town tax cycle at the end of 2023. The state has raised the income qualification levels for these two. We have to take action by local law in order to approve them for use here in Brighton. And we'll be holding that public hearing at our January 11th meeting, so folks can get as much notice as possible, because for these exemptions, folks have to, property owners have to file for these by the taxable status date of March 1st. Ken?
I just wanted to confirm with the town clerk that we will be able to timely publish that notice. I know that was an issue that we were both concerned about, actually.
Yep.
We're all good?
Yes.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you both. We have a motion, seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember DePonzio,
Aye.
Councilmember Werner,
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt,
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy.
Aye. Matters of the supervisor, leaf pickup has now been completed for the season, just as our writer, Mr. Norquist, did earlier. I want to thank our highway, great highway workers. They did a super job this year, 3 passes through the town. It's a lot of work, and I really do, and I know the community appreciates that work. It is never too early or too late to remind folks for next year. Please remember to leave your leaves on the lawn, not in the street. The hazard that causes, both for cyclists, for pedestrians, for cars, for drainage issues. I'm not sure, I feel every year, I say it until I'm blue in the face at every town board meeting, whenever I'm with people. Please remember, I thought too many people leaving their leaves in the street this year. Judy, I know you're here, and I know you do a great job in your neighborhood and with the other neighborhood associations of trying to get that word out. Thank you for that. And we know we'll work with you again next year to make sure that happens. Now, after the first of the year, as we do each year, the highway department will be picking up your live Christmas trees. So if you had a live tree this year, make sure obviously you take the tinsel and the ornaments off the tree. Again, put it on the lawn. Don't put your tree in the street. And don't put it in a plastic bag. They sell these plastic bags for disposal of trees. We mulch our trees. Those trees will be taken up to our environmental facility up on off Browncroft Boulevard. It'll be mulched, and so we don't want any plastic. We don't want it in a plastic bag. You can, of course, if you don't want to wait for it to be picked up, although they do a great job of getting them picked up quickly, but you can also take your tree over to the highway department. But you don't have to. The team will pick them up for you. I also want to thank you, Mike, and the highway department for sending a couple of trucks and some staff over to Buffalo to help with the snow removal operation over there in Buffalo. I know they appreciate it. I know a number of towns and the county, and I think the city also may have sent trucks and personnel over to Buffalo to help them as they clean out. And I know the Brighton Fire District also sent a fire truck and some staff. We all heard about how many Buffalo Fire Department trucks got stuck in the snow.
As did Henrietta, which covers our West Brighton.
Yes, Henrietta did as well. Thank you for that. So we really appreciate all of those agencies for sending that out. It's much appreciated. That's all I have at the moment. Matters of the town attorney.
Nothing other than to wish you all and wish everyone out in the studio audience a very happy new year. It was a great 2022 working with you all. Look forward to 2023 working with you as well.
Thanks, Ken. Matters of the town clerk. Dan, tax season.
Tax season. First day of collection is Friday for those who want to get their payment applied in calendar 2022. We don't know the amounts yet. Some delay getting them out of county ledge. But I did get the warrant today, so hopefully the bills will certainly be available online Friday. And we'll begin our regular collection for those who want to have it apply in 2023 on Tuesday.
Thank you for providing that service to our residents every year. Matters of the town board.
Nothing further other than Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy New Year. I want to thank our ASL interpreters tonight, Jennifer and Sarah. And it wouldn't be right to not thank Heather and Allie, who interpret most of our meetings throughout the year. It really makes a difference. And thank you for helping to make our meetings accessible to everyone in town. I do want to wish everybody a very happy new year and a safe new year, please. Driving, whatever it is you may be doing, please do it safely. Our next meeting will be the annual organizational meeting of the town board, which will be held on Tuesday, January 3rd, right here in this room in the auditorium at noon. Our next regular town board meeting will be Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. 7 p.m., again, right here in this room. Both of those meetings will also be Zoomed, so you can enjoy them, whether or not you want to come here to Town Hall. And again, Happy New Year. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second.
Dan, please call the roll.
Councilmember DeFazio?
Aye.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilt?
Aye.
Supervisor Mealy?
Aye. Good night, everybody.